Ran 2 miles, boy, and look what that sweat does to my hair. That's okay. I'm getting it done again in a few days, so it's all good. So something I want to talk about, and I'm in a good mood, man. Those 2 miles, I wasn't even tired, man. I'm getting back to my old self, man. These ain't just show muscles, people. They're good for performance, too. Anyways, all that shit aside. What I want to talk about before I go and make some money is obtaining your own knowledge versus relying on somebody else. Yes, you guys see where I'm going with this, so let's fucking talk about it. Now, I did a little test last week where I did a rare thing where I actually gave people some free lunch. And I did that for two reasons. One, because people underestimate what drugs do. People underestimate what chemicals do. People underestimate what all this fucked up shit in the air, the water, and what we consume. They greatly underestimate what these things do to the human body over long periods of time, if you aren't aware of what's going on. So I specifically mentioned the hermaphrodite thing and vaguely touched on evolution, because that's the thing, right? So many people want to blab evolution to me, and they don't even know what evolution is. They think evolution takes millions of years, which is bullshit, because they don't actually study evolution. They just quickly regurgitate some shit they saw on Google and Wikipedia. I had a guy try to debate me a few days ago. He tried to use Google translated Japanese to debate with me about Japanese when I speak the fucking language. He didn't even know, I'm not getting into that, but I gave out some free lunch for two reasons. One, because I wanted to encourage people to do even deeper research on evolution, hermaphrodites, and what has been done to the human body. What these people have done to us, right? Because people keep underestimating this shit. People keep thinking it's just little, tiny, just minute effects. Guys, 35 through 55% of future children being born with autism, that is not a small number, and that's a low-end estimate. Some other people estimate it will be as high as 70%, and autism is not a good thing. Despite what your single mothers and society is lying to you people, Einstein didn't have no fucking autism. Alexander the Great didn't have no fucking autism. I've heard all these arguments, and it's all bullshit. And how are so many people getting born with such powerful mental impairments if these things only give a minute effect? So the first reason I covered the hermaphrodite shit is because I wanted people to do deep, thorough research on how drastically different the modern human is compared to their ancestral counterparts, okay? I wanted to drive and encourage people to be more thirsty to find out exactly all that has been done to us. The second reason I gave some free lunch is because I wanted to prove my point that nobody, let me not say nobody, this is why we call them sheeple, because they want to be led into a ditch. You see, most people don't actually want you to tell them the truth, because most people don't actually want the truth. That's why every time I upload videos where I prove people wrong, when I get them to submit and surrender the fact that I'm telling them the truth, they move the goalpost. They instead say, oh, well, you may be right, but how you're saying it is not going to help anybody. You should be nicer. You should be more humble. They say retarded shit like that, as if how you say the truth matters. Doesn't fucking matter. What is true, and how it's said doesn't matter, okay? Or, they try to move the goalpost. They try to say, perspective, perceptions, opinions. I'm not disagreeing with you, but I'm giving you another perspective to critique you, right? Most people don't actually want the truth. Despite the fact that they claim they want sources, they claim they want evidence, they claim they want articles, and as I showed in my previous videos, when you give them sources, when you give them articles, and when you give them proof, they get even angrier. they turn even more hostile. See, you guys got it twisted, man. The people that rule over you, they don't operate on good and evil. They learned a long time ago, time immemorial ago, that sheeple cannot be helped. So you might as well take advantage of them. The main reason people don't want to hear the truth is because of their pride, their ego, and their narcissism. Most people would rather safeguard what they believe, safeguard what their opinions are. They don't want their opinions to be wrong. They don't want their beliefs to be wrong. So when you show up and you present something that proves everything they've ever believed to be false, they turn hostile, right? As individuals, they know better than to try to attack you because sheeple aren't suicidal. However, if they believe that with their numbers they can overwhelm you, they will strike, and then you have to slaughter a bunch of cattle because 10 times 0 power is still 0 power. Okay? Now, the main reason I'm saying this is because it gets to the point where they try to bring other people down intentionally. What's the solution to this, right? Because, like, the last couple of videos I've shown have already established that despite what these people say, despite them saying that they want to go to man for knowledge and they want other people to tell them what is true, they don't actually want that, because the second that they're told what is true, they'll turn hostile and try to destroy the truth. Now, why deal with any of that shit when you can just be alone and find the truth yourself? You can obtain your own knowledge and not have to deal with any of these people. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with using people that know more than you as a quick reference, but eventually you gotta ascend above that level. You have to get to the point to where you can obtain your own knowledge, because when you rely on other people for knowledge, you gotta go through all of this shit. You have to weed out the people that don't like you, that intentionally want to mislead you, that are crabs that are going to try to bring you down, that are more focused on teaching you what they believe instead of what is actually true. Like, why go through any of that shit when you can just obtain the knowledge yourself? People seem to get it twisted, man. They want me to be the knowledge giver when that's not the purpose of this channel. I gave free lunch last week specifically to prove point number 2, and specifically to highlight that most people don't actually want to hear the truth. Now, why was the hermaphrodite thing something that pissed so many people off? Because most modern religions teach you that there's only 2 sexes and that woman came from a man's rib. So if you acknowledge that there's a 3rd sex that came before the other 2, if you acknowledge that hermaphrodites are in this world and that they are the oldest human skeletal bone and that they're the first human beings, if you acknowledge, and there's a lot of things that prove this to be true, not on Google and not on Wikipedia. If you rely on Google and Wikipedia, then you're just stupid. You're going to forever be deceived, right? Wikipedia directly says that hermaphrodites can't reproduce. And even though hermaphrodites, that's what makes them hermaphrodites. They can reproduce asexually. We had a whole class about this in the police academy, surprisingly, because in Maryland, there's like specific laws referring to like the classification of males, females, and intersex, right? They have their own classification. So when we dealt with them, we had to, you know, there was specific policy for that. So, but the main reason that pissed so many people off is because if you acknowledge that hermaphrodites and intersex people were real, then you also have to acknowledge that your God is either wrong and that your religion is wrong, and or that your God is either intentionally lying to you or, you know, intentionally or accidentally lying to you. And my camera's starting to fuck up. That might be a sign in this video soon. But, and people would rather die with their beliefs than to ever question if their God is lying to them, to ever question if their God is wrong, to ever question if their stupid little narcissistic beliefs are incorrect. I'm here to tell you, man, This path is difficult. Only the strongest of the strongest energies are gonna, see the ultimate truth. And people that are gonna be weighed down by their beliefs, their opinions, and their philosophies and perspectives and shit, these people can't be helped. I honestly wish they would get the fuck off my channel, but my views have been increasing for whatever reason. So even though I'm trying to get rid of these guys from my channel, it seems like more of them are coming to my channel. But it is what it is. The main purpose of my videos is to try to help the people that can get it. Try to help the people that are intelligent enough to see that something isn't right. And instead of going to the people that made me sick in the first place for knowledge, let me just obtain my own knowledge and ensure I never get sick ever again. I blocked a guy on Discord because he lied to me. He said he went to Europe. He actually did go to Europe. He said he went to the source and verified with his own eyes that what I was saying was true, but then he caught an STD and tried to go back to the same people that gave him the STD for a cure. And I just told him, you haven't learned a goddamn thing, and then I blocked him. Useless, right? It's not rocket science. Those of you that were born with a mental impairity like narcissism, autism, etc., does it make any sense to go to the people that gave you that shit in the first place for a cure? Or does it make more sense to find a cure on your own so that nobody can ever trick you? Because that's the secret right there, guys. When you obtain your own knowledge, nobody else can ever trick you. Okay? This is why, again, what is the most popular religion in the world? Christianity. This is why Christianity, in the first book, the Book of Genes, the people that tried to obtain their own knowledge, they were punished by God. Because religion makes it clear. Don't obtain your own knowledge. Go to man for knowledge. Go to gods for knowledge, right? That's the opposite of what you should be doing. Again, there's nothing wrong with using people currently above you as like a stepping stone and a quick reference. But if you make that your sole source of information, you're just asking to be fooled in the future. Right? If you walk up with your hands out, if you keep relying on Google's, Wikipedia's, scientists, certified professionals, every now and then you may find an honest one who has no problem helping you, but eventually you are going to run into somebody who's going to see you as a pathetic little begging sucker who's going to take full advantage of you. You're going to be seen as a natural human resource for them. But if you obtain your own knowledge, nobody can ever fool you, and you then rise above the gods that you created. So, that's all I got to say for this video. I'm going to try to make this my last one until Sunday. Somebody commented that he wants to debate me about the earth. He thinks the earth is flat. And he picked a bad time to want to have that debate, boy, because I think I've obtained some evidence beyond a reasonable doubt that proves, well, I mean, there's a lot of evidence beyond a reasonable doubt that proves the earth isn't flat. But, it's a video I saw recently because I saw, Divergent. I mean, he made a video saying that NASA photoshops astronauts. It's like, whatever, dude. But yeah, man. If you're serious about having that flat earth debate, buddy, then, send me your Discord, and I'm going live on Sunday. I was going to talk about why humans aren't animals, but fuck it, we can do the debate first, and then I'll just touch on that subject another day. Catch you guys in the next video. Those of y'all that get it. Those of y'all that don't, get the fuck off my channel because you probably never will. Obtain your own knowledge, then nobody can trick you. And don't give Sheeple free lunch because they will turn hostile. They won't attack you if they're by themselves, but if they believe that with numbers they can overwhelm you, then you're going to have to slaughter a bunch of cattle. Catch y'all in the next one.